Assalamualaikum, my name is Syed Amin bin Syed Nasruddin, and today I will present about my FIP that have the given name Customer Profiling System. Background of study. Today's world, internet is a crucial thing to have, and also it is commonly used to search data and also many things. Some people also use internet to grow their business activities so that they can achieve their target that they want. Customer profile also can be interpreted as a customer individual information that consists of name, age, and their background. This data will be used for the future analytic to target or to search the loyal customer. For the seller to easy their work. Understanding the problem. The first one, for the reason to create the system is seller are difficult to know about the customer information. And the second is the way is a waste of time because it will take more time. The previous way is that customer will fill a form every time they come, but with the new system that will be created, uh, customer will just fill the form once and then they will just scan their face in the webcam and then it will detect as attendance for them. And the third one is hard to identify loyal customer. After the detection of the customer, face customer in the webcam, they will, or the system will generate how many times customer came to the store or workshop. Research question. There are three research questions, and they are: what the feature needed to developing customer profiling, how face recognition can be used in customer profiling, and also how the customer profiling system or CPS can be used in real world scenario. There are three objectives that need to achieve to make sure that the system is successful. The first one is to study the requirement of customer profiling system or CPS, and then to develop CPS for identifying loyal customer. Next, to test and evaluate the system in real environment. For the scope, this project target customer that visits the workshop and the owner itself. This project also will include the customer attendance and information about the workshop so that it can store the data about them. Or we can say customer. And next, the project will determine either the customer is a loyal customer or the customer by using attendance system. After the data from customer attendance have been get, the data will be used to determine the loyal or rare customer and then show it or display it in the mobile application that will be created in the system. The significance of the project is to ease the users and the seller work and also give the seller a record for customer attendance and will trace the loyal and rare customer to ease the process of the seller to give reward for the loyal customer. Besides that, the mobile application that will be implemented in the system also will give the customer their attendance record and also coupon when they have been there many times or have been recognized by the system as a loyal customer. The system also will save time and cost for the seller to determine the loyal customer based on customer attendance via face recognition that will be developed in the system. Besides that, the system will provide the customer about the frequency of how many times they came in a month. Customer profiling. Customer profiling. Customer profiling is the process of categorizing consumers into groups with comparable objectives or characteristics. Customer profiling also can be defined as customer profile that use a combination of personal data and transactional data Besides that, customer profiling can be used to make understanding in consumer buying trends and recognizing transaction information database easier. There are many personal data that customer have, such as age, name, identification card, education, gender, occupation, and address. There are many benefits of using customer profiling, such as it can divide the customer to the certain demand that customer wants. It also can increase the response rate, and marketers aim to reach the appropriate customer at the right moment with the offerings. A marketing effort for a company will be ineffective. It does not target proper demographic and instead targets everyone. Face recognition. Face recognition architecture or deep learning. Deep learning is a subset for artificial neural system that serves as a foundation for artificial neural network, or we can call it ANN. Deep learning is based on algorithms that are inspired by the ANN, which is a structurally and functionally comparable human brain neural system. Deep learning also may be used to a variety of architectures, such as recurrent neural network, or we can call it RNN, and convolutional neural network, or we can call it CNN. RNN versus CNN. This is where the comparison between recurrent neural network and also convolutional neural network. For RNN, it may be used for both temporary and sequential data, but for CNN, it is applicable for sparse data like image. For RNN also, in comparison to CNN, RNN offers less features and capabilities. But for CNN is considered as more powerful tool than RNN. For recurrent neural network also, it can allow arbitrary input length and output length. And according to the input for the CNN, the interconnectivity takes a predefined number of input and creates a fixed number of output. RNN also works on loop network, which uses their internal memory to handle the arbitrary input sequences. But CNN is a clockwise feed-forward artificial neural network with a variety of several levels of perceptron that is particularly designed to use as little pre-processing as possible. And also for RNN is largely based on time series data about the consumer's previous impact. It's also identifying whether or not the user will speak next. CNNs are special for video processing and image processing. That is the comparison between RNN and CNN. Mobile application. So what is the mobile application? A mobile application, often known as an application or app, is software that runs on a smartphone or tablet computer or the other type of mobile device. There are many types of them, such as, or we can say the iPhone or Samsung, Huawei. After that, mobile applications typically provide services to the user that are comparable to those available on certain computer. But in the mobile application, it is more compact and also small than computer. Other than that, there are many types of mobile application that can be categorized by the technology needed to code into three, which is web apps, native apps, and also hybrid apps. For the comparison between native, web, and hybrid application, for the platform, native app have single platform, but web and hybrid has cross platform. For programming language, native use Swift, Java, and also C++. For web programming language, it's used HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and also jQuery. For hybrid application, the programming language that it uses HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, mobile JavaScript, frameworks, and Cordova. For the development cost, native application have higher development cost, but web and hybrid both has lower development cost. For the performance, the native application have good performance. For the web application, it have good for computer and average for mobile. But for hybrid, for computer and mobile, it will be average. Data collection. For data collection, the reason it will be used because of the seller can better understand their client's interests, goals, and requirements if seller have more information about them. In certain circumstances, different form of data might be beneficial. By combining multiple sources of data can also be beneficial. There are two types of primary data, and it can be categorized as quantitative data and also qualitative data. Qualitative versus quantitative data. So what is the purpose of the research? For the quantitative, it is for or to explain and predict, and also to confirm and validate, and to test the theory. But for the qualitative, it is to describe and explain, to explore and interpret, and also to build the theory. For the question, what is the nature of the research process? For the quantitative, the focus is the quantitative nature or research process. And also it have non-variable, established guidelines, static design, context-free, and also detached view. Difference with the qualitative, where its nature holistic, unknown variables, flexible guidelines, emergence designs, context-bound, and also personal view. So, what are the methods of the data collection? For quantitative, it will be representative, large sample, and also standardized instruments. But for the qualitative, it will be informative, small sample, observations, and also interviews. What is the form of reasoning in the analysis? So, for the quantitative, it will deductive analysis, but for the qualitative, it will inductive analysis. For the question, how are the findings communicated? So, for the quantitative, it will be by numbers, statistics, aggregated data, and also formal voice, scientific style. But for the qualitative data, it will be words, narratives, individual quotes, personal style, and also literary style. Similar study. Similar study. For the first similar study that I found is about customer profiling using demographic analysis by video face detection and recognition. The outcome that have been found in this literature review are gender and age prediction, and also the face recognition architecture that have been used by this literature review is convolutional neural network, or we can say as CNN. And also for the gender prediction for Instagram user profiling using deep learning, or the second literature review that I have found, gender prediction as its outcome, or the result that they want is about the gender prediction. The face recognition architecture also is CNN. Methodology. Waterfall model. So what is waterfall model? Waterfall model is a methodology that will be implemented in the developing the system. It is also represents the whole project life cycle. And also waterfall models have 5 phases, and the phases are analysis, design, implementation, system testing, and system maintenance. Waterfall model. It has 5 process, and it is analysis, design, implementation, testing, and maintenance. These processes are crucial in the waterfall model, so the project will go smoothly. Waterfall model. For the first phase is analysis. Analysis will be the first phase for the waterfall model, and the activity is analysis of the requirement based on stakeholder requirement, identify problem statement, objective, scope, and project significance, and also research article for architecture that can be used. For technique, the analysis will be accomplished by reading journal and article, and also conducting interviews with the owner of the workshop. The deliverable expected for analysis, project goals, approach, and significance, and also list of system requirement, and the suitable architecture, tools, and method will be selected. After that, for the second phase in the waterfall model or system design, the activity will be design application architecture, design workflow, design use case diagram, and also design user interface. For the technique, will be reading previous journal and article, and also reading from previous report. And also for the system design deliverable, the application architecture, flowchart, use case diagram, and also user interface. After that, for waterfall model in phase implementation, the activity that I will be doing is develop the system. The technique that I will apply are the deep learning architecture, technique and method from literature review, and also Android Studio will be used for developing uh, phone application, and also OpenCV for face recognition. The deliverable in the implementation phase to develop the system based on requirement and used to develop mobile application. This is for Android Studio, and for OpenCV used to develop face detection. For testing, the activity perform usability testing. The technique will select a few individuals to the testing of the full system, and also the expected deliverable, result of testing, and also user feedback. For maintenance, there will be no maintenance for this project because the planned program will have no update or improve. For hardware requirement, laptop or personal computer that will be used have the specification as in the table. For the processor, I will be used Intel Core i5 and above, and also RAM that will be used 4GB and above, and system type 64-bit operating system and above. For smartphone, Android need to have 4.1.1 and above, and then 2GB and above. For web camera, the needed required specification is 24 pixel. Software requirement. The source code editor for face recognition. The software will be used OpenCV. It is because of OpenCV rich in algorithm, and also it is greatly have huge amount of algorithm. And for source code editor for mobile application, I will be using Android Studio because of the emulator is good and also fast and have many features. Application architecture. There are 4 main application architecture in the picture that we can see here, and they are application server, laptop or personal computer, camera, and smartphone. Data are saved in the application server, and camera is used for face recognition, and then it will be recorded by laptop or personal computer. Users can use application in their Android mobile application to access their data, and will show about their attendance in the workshop based on face recognition. Deep learning architecture. This architecture is the illustration of the CNN architecture that have been made by Alskani and al. 2018 from their study. This figure also illustrates the CNN architecture to extract the features of a given input image size m times n pixels, where m equal to 100 and also n equal to 100 for multiply database. The researcher used 7 times 7, 5 times 5, and also 3 times 3 filter dimensions of convolution layers 1, 2, and 3 respectively. Also, they used 2 times 2 dimensions for all max pooling layers. CNNs achieve good result in very large database. However, Experimentally, CNNs may not be able to outperform other algorithms such as sparse representation-based classification or SRC for the relatively small databases. For the conclusion, this proposal is created to support the development of iCustomer Customer Profiling System project. To make this project achieve its goal, many steps have been taken. The teacher review that related to the similar research have been made to stand as a reference for the project. Furthermore, the system will ease the work for both user and seller so that the flow of the work in the workshop can go smoothly.